How bathong? Hello some pizza. Hey Teddy. Hey, ke letso ke leo le sune. Le sune.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of 016 FM Season 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 2 picks up with the battle lines being drawn between Whiskey and Tsietsi as they prepare for their big duel, the kwaal and the Vaal. The battle was announced on radio and anticipation began to grow amongst listeners and recruiting DJs to their respective sides. Karabo, 016 FM's newsreader, aspires to be a DJ and has a crush on Tsietsi. However, Tsietsi seems too preoccupied with trying to save the station and taking care of his mother. To Karabo's disappointment, he recruited her as his campaign manager for the kwaal. Tsietsi then met up with their former sponsor, Charity Manzini, apologizing on the station's behalf. However, Charity was not willing to return as a sponsor unless they permitted her to write her own ads. Meanwhile, Whiskey and his brother began ramping up their campaign for the kwaal. He even tried to recruit Lerato, the station's top female DJ, who insisted that she'll remain neutral. The station then had a board meeting where they were introduced to Queen, their new finance manager sent by Groupman himself, which means Tsietsi's objections fell on silent ears. The episode ends with Groupman on the phone declaring that now that Queen has infiltrated the station, 016 FM will soon be theirs. Episode 3 picks up with Whiskey and his brother continuing their promotion as they went live dancing with the local dance group. Meanwhile, Tsietsi took a more traditional and modest approach, handing out flyers and spreading the word on the streets. However, not everyone appreciated his efforts as a group of listeners told him how they were Team Whiskey, calling Tsietsi old and out of style. After Whiskey and the dance group ended their live, Whiskey expressed his desire to go out with Lerato. He even called her while she was on air to ask her out. However, Lerato declined but left the door open for the listeners to give their feedback. Meanwhile at the station, the new financial manager Queen unleashed chaos as she refused to do the job she was hired for and spilled her drink all over the studio equipment. She then called Groupman to confirm that their plan is in motion before encouraging Tsietsi to order some new equipment, despite his concerns that the station can't afford it. Tsietsi and his campaign manager, Karabo, then recruited Masedi, who is a popular local DJ. This shook up Whiskey, who immediately rushed to Groupman to request him to get Masedi on his side for the kwaal. Back at the station, Tsietsi's father arrived to inform him that they could use the university where he worked as a venue for the upcoming kwaal. However, Tsietsi was not interested and told him to rather go check on his mother, who is suffering from dementia. Tsietsi's father returned to work, where he revealed to his excited students that Tsietsi was his son. He went on to make posters for Tsietsi's campaign, which Whiskey's brother mocked hilariously. The terrible posters even made it on social media and started trending. The episode ends with a mysterious robbery of a truck loaded with copper cables. 016 FM is picking up slowly. I didn't feel like there was enough to review last week, but I was pleasantly surprised with the progress made in episode 3. There was a lot going on with Tsietsi, Whiskey, Groupman, and Queen, his mole in the station. I'm not sure what Groupman's plan is, but it looks like Queen is trying to trick Tsietsi into buying equipment that the station can't pay for. I also suspect that Groupman is using his ads on the station as signals for the robberies and other criminal activities. I'm also becoming more curious about the relationship between Groupman and Whiskey. We don't know much about Whiskey's personal life outside of his brother. On the other hand, we got a full dose of Tsietsi and his father's beef. I think Tsietsi's character has been really fleshed out, and like I mentioned before, this boy can act. I can't help but wonder just how much Mposibeng's passing affected the production of this show, and ultimately I'm anxious about how the season will play out for his character. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the situation. The episode's cliffhangers have been underwhelming so far. The whole point of the cliffhanger is to get the viewer excited for the next episode. So the cliffhangers are very important, especially when we're only getting one episode per week. Although I will admit today's episode outperformed its duration. I've seen reports that some viewers are dissatisfied with how the Vaal is being depicted in the show, but I think this week was a big step in the right direction for 016 FM. We'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.